Do you like gear that's timeless? Do you like gear that you can buy once and keep forever and never ever have to worry about it again? Well, if that's you, stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. Welcome back to the Jam Shed, and today, as I've said many times, it's all about what's on my mind. And today I was thinking about yesterday's video that I dropped on the Albion TCT 35 and this amazing pedal called the TS9 Tube Screamer by Ibanez. And the reason why I'm on here is because, again, my thoughts were just rolling about how unique this pedal is and how crazy that video was from this standpoint. See, if you have a chance, go back and watch it, and you'll notice when I'm playing, the guitar is actually in middle position, and I was blown away because in the room, I didn't even catch that I was playing in middle position. That wasn't intentional. My intention was to play in the bridge position where I get the most gain and we really have a fire-breathing dragon. But in my mind in that moment, it was a fire-breathing dragon. It also explains why it was really low on the gain side. And we're just looking at that in real time. All of that was my real-time set of reactions. And we put this thing on there and I push the button and I'm just like, man, this thing is slaying in the middle position. And what that said to me in that moment, and what that means, the middle position tends to have less distortion. And what that told me is it turned the middle position into a fire-breathing dragon, and I didn't even know that. And I just found a usable tone that I didn't think about, and I'm going to use again, and was excited to use and will use going forward that I didn't even know I had. And again, it goes back to I didn't have to part with a single dollar to get that tone. All I had to do was go, let's try something, and then by a really cool mistake, I got something amazing that I didn't even know I had. This is the gift that keeps giving. And there are so many pieces of gear out there that will do the same. And so I came on here today to say, if you didn't catch the Albion video, go back and check it out and listen to that tone and listen to it closely because that's the middle position. And this thing really did turn that little TCT 35 into a fire-breathing dragon. So it spurred this whole video. And I'm wearing green today because I'm representing this green Tube Screamer. Now, I'm also wearing green today because there are lots of variations of this pedal. And while today is not going to be about the history of the Ibanez Tube Screamer, what it is about is just, again, get inspired, get motivated, get out there because you might discover something by surprise. And today, or yesterday, I should say, I did discover something by surprise. I discovered that the Albion can slay in the middle position with my Dean Evo and a Tube Screamer, and I had no idea it could do that. I have now a usable tone locked in here that I will employ in my studio recordings when I record songs in the future. I thought, you know what, that would make a killer secondary track, and we'll have to explore that maybe on another video about what could that sound like and how will that work. But I will say this, the music today, again, that you're hearing, because I wanted to put a little music underneath me talking, I recorded this little song that you're hearing below here, and again, I had this thing engaged. I was using my triple rectifier today because I just felt in the mood to use that amp, and let's record some music for the channel. Why not? And again, here I am using this. And here's what's so amazing about this pedal is, for me, it's like comfort food for the soul. This thing I know, and I know it with the tone that I hear in my head, and it does the tones that I've been chasing forever, and I'm still chasing. The difference is I used to chase tones through gear. I didn't chase tones through my capability and exploring the tools that I have and making them consistent with my sound. And then exploring what other tools I can bring to the table and what they offer to add to my sound. It was a different positioning. When you're chasing and trying to find a tone, it's all about discovery. It's all about what can I buy? It's all about the shiny thing. And then I'm playing it and I'm not thinking about, well, I have this in my mind and then maybe I like it or I don't like it, and then I'm upset. I'm annoyed about the purchase that I made because now I don't see it has value and it didn't do the thing I inherently wanted it to do, which was help me get this tone that I want and that I've heard in my head and that I've been exploring. And while that was a long-winded way to say that when you buy things, it doesn't always measure up because often we're searching for what it could be. We don't have an understanding of what that is yet. And I'm past that. And I can give you actually the keys to figuring that out. It's really simple. The first thing that you must discover is who you are as a player and where you want to be. And that's your ability to play, that's your technique, all of those things about you growing as a musician are so important to your tone, because you can never take the you out of your tone. You will always be you. Eddie Van Halen is Eddie Van Halen. If I were to grab Eddie's guitar and play through his rig, I would still sound like me. I wouldn't sound like Eddie. And so exploring, that's the first thing, is establishing who you are as a musician and understanding your capability and capacity. And once you do that, then yeah, start finding a couple things that you go, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. That puts me in the ballpark. And once you land on that, you have the gift that will keep giving forever, because then you can move from, I'm buying this piece of gear to help me sound a certain way, to I'm buying this piece of gear because I'm curious what it can do for my tone now, with where I'm at now. And it's fun to go back and explore pedals or other pieces of gear as I've grown as a musician, because I use them wildly different than I did, let's say, 10 years ago. Now, we have spent a lot of time laboring on gear acquisition and tone chasing, but going back to this pedal, there were two recent examples that show me that sometimes knowing who you are as a player, knowing who you are as a musician or a recording engineer, a tone chaser, is so important, because these tools become the things that you will learn to depend on and that you will utilize because you know them. And you know them at such a level that you don't even have to think about what you're looking for. You already know what you're going to go to. And I hope all of you aspire to get to that place. And if you're not, it's okay. That's what we're here for, because we're going to have these random conversations that will go on, and we'll talk about fun points about why things are great and how you can use them and how you can add it to your tonal toolbox. Like, I think about it like going into elementary school, when you had the small box of crayons that had like 8 or 12, and then you get the 24 and the 32 and the 64, and what you got were a whole bunch of options. And just like that, those of you that remember the giant box, how many of you used every single one of those crayons? And most of the time I find myself going, I'm looking for a shade of red. Oh, I know I need real red, and I can't find real red because I broke and destroyed it. And that's kind of what it's like when you're trying to chase tone forever. You add so many things to your color palette that you're painting with, or that you're working with or coloring with. You lose track of the primary colors, and sometimes all you need is the primary color. And today we're saying that primary color is green. Now, I will share with you a very quick story. I bought back in December, they're running a sale on a slew of Behringer pedals, and you got like 3 in a bundle for $100. And I got the one that was green, which I don't remember the model number, but basically it's an 808, I think. And I put it up against, I think, this pedal, and I could not believe, almost dial for dial at noon, they were identical. And then all the way up to the gain settings of where the tactile use of that pedal felt very similar to this. And in this moment, I'm thinking to myself, it would be awesome for do a comparison video between this and something that's so reasonable. I think that pedal still sells for $30, and I'll tell you, I loved that pedal and I thought it was fantastic, but it did nothing more than what this did. And so I paid it forward. I gave the pedal away to somebody who might find more use out of it than I would, because it's not going to change this. This has been my go-to pedal for probably 10 years. And if I lost it, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd probably go buy a Behringer and replace it with that, or just try to find one of these reasonably, because these aren't super expensive either. There's nothing inherently special about this, but what makes it special is I have spent my whole entire music career trying to get to the point of where I understand what I'm looking for, and I know that this is a tool I employ. And again, I'll circle back. In the Albion video, it unlocked a tone I didn't even know existed. And here I am thinking about it again today when I'm recording music, the music you're hearing underneath this video, and I'm using it again. And it just goes to show that sometimes things that are comfortable are wonderful, and they're helpful because you know how to mobilize them instantly. But secondarily to that, you get something else in the room and you go, what does that add? And I think it's that curiosity. You don't necessarily have to abandon it. There is only one pedal in my entire life that I need to still figure out where can I find value, and we'll do a video on it, but I'll let you in on the secret. It's called the Line 6 Bass Pod, and I still have not found a way to use that well. But my hope and dream is that I will use that well, and that's why I've kept it. I've never gotten rid of it because I wanted to find something usable, but I've never really experimented with it outside of trying it on bass. Maybe I need to try it on guitar. And so all this has been fun to just have fun conversation, but the whole purpose of this video was first to share my random thought that I cannot believe in yesterday's video, the Albion video, I was in the middle position with this thing and it was awesome. And then secondarily today, here I am using it again because it's just like, it's the thing, it's like you think about mashed potatoes and gravy. Like, or meat and potatoes. Like, this is one of those two that's going to be on the plate every time, or I'm going to have it at the table. Or you don't go to writing class without some sort of writing utensil. It's going to be a pen or a pencil, right? This is just like that for me. And I hope that if anything you got out of this video is just a little passive content, and if you have a piece of gear, I would love for you to leave it in the comments. If you have some soul food or food for the soul gear that you just know, as soon as I fire it up, this is the signal chain I start with. This is my platform. And that's actually a great way to formulate this. What is your platform? Mine is simple. I love to have something low gain in my platform. I like to have something high gain in my platform. And I like to have this in my platform. And I'll leave you with this. The amplifiers that I love, even though I have a lot of high-end gear in here, and you can see that, yeah, I suffer from the same thing you all do, which is gear acquisition. But I'll tell you, most of the time when I'm in here, I'm playing that, or I'm playing this little guy up here. And that, both of those amps I built. And it's crazy. If I would go back and tell my 20-year-old self, you're going to use a Tube Screamer all the time, and you're going to build your own amp, and, well, two of them, and they're going to be the amps that you play most of the time. And I'd be like, no, I want a Marshall JCM 800 with a 4x12 cab, and I want a Jackson Flying V guitar because I'm going to go slay the world with my metal. And I probably wouldn't believe that I'd be the guy building amplifiers and sitting here talking to you all. With all of that to be said, I would love for you all to have that same feeling and thought when you get to this point in your journey, moving from trying to find what makes you who you are to knowing who you are and finding things that you want to add to your toolbox. And that's all I wanted to say today. So I hope you found this video of value. Keep your eye out, because I am going to do this Behringer comparison video. And while I've done a lot of pedal videos, I think they're kind of like the low-hanging fruit for conversation. But even in this moment, here we go. We've got another thing that we're going to be talking about and sharing. So thank you for hanging out today. I hope you are all having a great weekend. It is Saturday, so finish strong, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.